The courtroom was silent except for the faint tapping of shoes against marble floors. I sat at the defendant's table, calm on the outside, though my heart beat steady and strong beneath the surface. My soon-to-be ex-wife, Rachel, sat across from me, dressed elegantly in a navy suit, her arms crossed, her expression cold. Beside her sat Ethan, her new boyfriend, and conveniently, her lawyer. He was sharp, smug, the kind of man who thought charm could substitute for decency. Every time he spoke, he looked at me like I was already defeated. When Rachel had filed for divorce, she made it clear she wanted everything. The house, the cars, half my business, even the dog. "It's not personal," she'd said, though I could tell she enjoyed watching me lose. What she didn't know, however, was that the judge presiding over our case, Judge Daniels, was more than just an acquaintance. He was a close friend, a man who'd seen me through the hardest years of my life. And unlike Ethan, he valued honesty more than theatrics. The session began with Ethan standing confidently. "Your Honor, my client has endured emotional and financial neglect," he declared, pacing the floor like he was in a courtroom drama. "We are seeking full ownership of the marital home and a 70% share of all liquid assets." His tone dripped with arrogance. I sat still, expressionless. Rachel shot me a smug glance, as if victory was already in her hands. When it was my turn, my lawyer, an older man named David, stood calmly. "Your Honor," he began, "before we proceed, we'd like to submit new evidence regarding the financial statements in question." Ethan rolled his eyes. "Oh, please," he scoffed. "Another desperate attempt to stall?" He leaned toward Rachel and laughed, clearly amused. "Don't worry," he whispered to her. "This will be over soon." Judge Daniels raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Turner," he said to Ethan, his voice measured but firm, "you seem unusually confident for someone who hasn't heard the evidence yet." Ethan smirked. "Just confident in the truth, Your Honor." Daniels nodded slowly. "Then let's see how the truth sits with you." David handed over a folder. Inside were documents, notarized statements, timestamps, and photos. They showed Ethan and Rachel accessing confidential business records and transferring funds from a joint account after the divorce papers had been filed. It was a clear violation of both state law and court procedure. For a moment, Ethan's smirk faltered. The judge's gaze hardened. "Mr. Turner," Daniel said sharply, "did you advise your client to access and move joint assets during the separation period?" Ethan stammered. Your Honor, that was—" "Answer the question," the judge interrupted. "Did you or did you not?" Rachel's eyes darted between us, her confidence slipping away. "I didn't know it was," she began, but Daniels silenced her with a look. "This court does not tolerate deceit or manipulation," he said firmly. "Especially not from officers of the court." He turned to Ethan. "You're leaving this room now. And I'll be reporting your conduct to the Bar Association." The sound of the gavel cracked through the silence. Ethan's face drained of color. Rachel reached for him, but he pulled his arm away, muttering something under his breath as two bailiffs escorted him out. The room was dead quiet. I looked at Rachel, who now sat frozen, pale and trembling. Daniels turned to me. "Mr. Carter," he said, "I've reviewed your records. You've maintained full transparency throughout this process. You'll retain ownership of your business and primary residence." Case adjourned. Rachel looked like she wanted to speak, but I simply stood, buttoned my jacket, and nodded politely. As I walked past her, she whispered, "You planned this." I paused at the door and met her eyes. "No," I said softly. "You did. The moment you thought betrayal had no consequences." Outside the courtroom, the air felt lighter. Justice, it seemed, didn't always need to shout. Sometimes it just needed to know the right people and the right truth.